Uganda, a constitution of any country is a living document. And because a constitution is a living document, once it has served a country for some time, it is wise to examine whether it has served the country well. And if it has not, and it deserves to be improved, then the people must be involved in the process of determining whether necessary reviews and changes ought to be made. And that requires consultation with the people. It is not at the whims of politicians to serve short-term political interests. And I hope that if that is the case, the people of Uganda, in their collective wisdom, will make that decision. And if indeed some of the provisions call for a referendum, such a referendum will be undertaken. The Indians do it very well. After 10 years, they review their constitution. And Africans ought to do that, because many of the constitutions we now have in Africa came hot on the heels of the collapse of the Soviet Union, when the West was dictating to us what is multi-party, what is democracy. But we now know better. We now know that some of these things don't serve us very well. And I believe that that is what must be done. But every argument that is made, every decision that is made, must involve the people and must never ever be designed to achieve short-term political ends. Yes, I support them to continue with consultation. Remember, and this is something that I say consistently, because what is the other route? If you stop consultation, what is the other route? It is good to be present at the party where the things are being made. And I remember these words written in Henrik Ibsen's book, An Enemy of the People. The strongest man in the world is the man who stands alone. And the saying that I will protest even if I protest alone, so that the world may know that I protested. And I'll conclude with this thing to be found in Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, I think, where he says, one of his books, I don't think is Things Fall Apart, but he says that there was an ongoing battle between the tortoise and the leopard. The tortoise had long time wanted to fight and finish the leopard. The leopard wanted to finish the tortoise. And this is what the tortoise told the leopard. I'm going to confront you, but I want you to give me time to perform a ritual which we do in the tortoise world before any big battle. Then he went into an area and scratched the place, and then he said, we can now do battle. Because even if you defeat me, the world will know that it was a supreme battle. Sometimes you do that. Yes. You don't win all battles, but you choose your battles carefully. You are sitting here with one of the greatest fighters of all time, intellectual fights. But we must distinguish populism and realism. There are things that you may wish could happen, but there are things that will not happen simply because you wish them. Whether one likes it or not, there is an existing administration. It is that administration that must be made to know that is in their best interest that reforms are made, that creates an environment where electoral competition is fair. But that said, it is not lost on me that any regime will always want to manipulate laws in a manner that will benefit them. But history has also demonstrated that if people ask firmly and consistently, even the strongest of leaders and regimes will concede. So all efforts must be made. I was there in Kenya when we were, in 1992, I was a member of the Council of the Law Society when we were making demands for the removal of a single-party state. And we made pressure. We demonstrated peacefully in the streets, and the administration of President Moi yielded. I was the secretary of the Constitution of Kenya Review Commission, and we walked around the country, and ultimately we brought a constitution for the people of Kenya. So it can be done. We must never give up hope. Remember, when you are talking about the life of any country, don't ever measure it with your life. You and me, at the very best, we can do 100 years. But a nation, exists forever, for generations and generations.